What's up, friends? This is Manni, and do you remember when I showed you the red level contract support VIP client mission? I called it the end game content, and that it requires weeks of playing to unlock. Well, a lot of things turned out to be wrong about this. First and foremost, these specific missions here are of the Escort category, and you can actually unlock them very quickly, like many of you guys have told me. I thought you have to, get the reputation on Foxwell to master, to be able to get these missions, because that's what some of my Orga friends were working on, right? And that really requires weeks of reputation farming. But that was not required for these ones here. You just had to start and find the first starting mission and do the steps so you can get after like 5 missions or so, the 6 missions, the big ones here. The second thing I showed you last time was, the reason I called it endgame was because the difficulty was basically is so high you couldn't complete it. Also because the game just wouldn't allow you to finish or play it in a playable way. Like the frame rate went so bad you couldn't play it. And then came the fix or the patch. Some of you guys told me you spawn more players the more players accept the mission. For us, we were like 15, 20 players accepting the mission for the first time. Maybe that's why we had so many ships there, that the frame rate was like 3-4 FPS. Now, in the new iteration, as you can see right here, the mission is working fine. It spawns a group of hostiles, a Hammerhead, an 890, and a bunch of fighters. And when you're running it with an Idris, for example, you can basically solo the whole thing, because you can kill the Hammerhead and the 890, and meanwhile, your point defense is doing the rest. And the 2 or 3 other ship types that you can't destroy with the point defense because it doesn't target them, you can do them with yourself as well. Of course, it's better if you have teammates with you, but yeah, very interesting that these missions can actually A, be done all by yourself, B, aren't really that endgame after all, although I guess they are the typical ERT / maybe a little higher than ERT difficulty, but they pay off much more. So you can kind of make a lot of money with this if you get 500k every time you complete these missions. From what I've seen though, you can't cycle them as much as you want. There's a downtime in between finishing it and getting another one. But you see the frame rate is super playable in the top left. We have like 45 FPS in the middle of battle here with the 890. And it is working much better now that they have fixed the problem with this mission spawning way too many ships, okay? So that is no longer an issue now. Alright, one thing that I keep noticing about firing on these 890s, it seems like you cannot destroy them with the Idris laser beam if you didn't already damage the entire ship and cause all segments to be red. So you can't just finish and focus one segment and drop the entire 890 with it. It doesn't work. You have to get the entire segments of the ship all red, and then you can finish it off. Very interesting. But yeah, so now we've gotten the Hammerhead, we've gotten the 890, and now there's a bunch of other ships. But unfortunately, upon trying to complete the mission the first time, there was a bug where the caterpillar that we were supposed to escort was sitting in this hangar, and it didn't move. And even my friend Blade here went into the ship to try and, kill the pilot and fly it out himself, which we thought, well, who knows what's happening then. Problem is, as soon as he took down the pilot, the mission aborted because the guy was counted dead, even though he was only punched, knocked out or whatever, but it basically counted as dead, and so, yeah. And also, another thing he found out then is that he was trying to launch the ship. The ship could not launch. Like, he would start a ship and it just, it was stuck. Yeah, you see now the mission is failed because we took down the pilot, and that ship literally could not launch. It was like attached to the landing pad. So we restarted the mission, doing it one more time, and this time it worked. And in this video, I just want to show you the one time, the finished 495k Escort VIP client mission, which starts right here, okay? Once again, you have a fleet here of enemy ships with a Hammerhead, 890, bunch of escorts that are smaller. Some of those will be targeted by point defense, others are slightly bigger and cannot be targeted. Very interesting, by the way, is that a 400i for some reason gets targeted by the point defense, which makes no sense. The 400i is a size ship that should not be targeted by the point defense, but it is. So we're on the hammerhead, but the hammerhead is turning back onto us. Wow, we're receiving a lot of fire. I can hear so much fire popping onto my shields. Hammerhead is navigating towards me. That means we're gonna have a hard time dropping it, because in this silhouette that it's giving me, it just makes itself a little, like a little line. That's all I see from it, right? I can't actually drop it so quickly. But we're not the only Idris. My friend is here also with his Idris, and they're gonna finish it off. Alright, so I felt the necessity to make an update on that video that I've made to tell you about how easy it actually is to unlock those missions, right? Those escorts. They give you 495k upon completion. You can technically do them alone in an Idris, but of course with some multiple cruise ships you can do it with your friends very well. Share the reward. You also get, I think, 23 scraps or something like this, or scripts. So yeah, that as well, and you have a lot of fun. And thankfully the ship spawns are not over exaggerated anymore. You can now actually complete the mission and play it till the end. And from what we have tested, whether or not more and more people accept the mission doesn't make a difference. It doesn't spawn more ships anymore. This may have been part of that hotfix that they have implemented, and that is now live and causing the game to run better. Also, it has fixed, you know, these unlimited people spawns, like FPS AI spawning in bunker missions or FPS missions, you know. So that was a good hotfix. All right, let's finish off that 890. I hate when there's red markers still in the map. So after you clear the first waves of ships when you come in here, what happens is you'll get the first caterpillar to come in, and it wants to land in the hangar in safety. Okay, so we've dropped all the ships, and as soon as the last big ones are gone, the caterpillar will spawn in. So what you'll do then, you'll get close to it. In this case, we're just using the what's it called here, the nav mode to get closer to it and faster. And sometimes there is also an enemy caterpillar. It's not really the dangerous ship, but we can drop it. And most of the time there are a lot of other like fighters and stuff attacking. Of course, I will have a hard time, you know, hitting that very well with these laser beams. They're not made for fighters. You can kill them with that, but it's just very difficult to hit them right. As it should be, I guess. That laser is not meant to fight little fighters, you know, it's meant as an anti-capital ship weapon. Or at the very least something larger, at the minimum size of a Corsair, that you can hit properly. And there is that caterpillar. And you can see how quickly it goes down. That thing, I think, has 3 times size 3 shields? 2 or 3? I think it has 3, and it just goes down so fast. But since it's a small silhouette, even that thing is actually not too easy to hit all the time. And also we still have that problem that the beam connects and it gets registered as blocked, like it's blocked by the enemy ship, but you're not getting hit indicators, you're not dealing damage. That still happens. So I'm not sure if CIG intends to fix that. So far there has not been one solution that really addresses this issue to make it reliable. Beam connected, damage transferred. That's how it should be, right? But yeah, so we're moving in. The escort ship, or the escorted caterpillar that we need to protect, makes it into the hangar and then spawns another group of enemies. And once you've dealt with that, or 5 minutes later, depends, right? If you kill all the ships, the next ship will spawn that you have to protect inside the hangar, and it will fly out. If you need longer than 5 minutes, then it will also spawn, regardless of whether or not you have been able to finish off the ships. But 5 minutes is enough time basically to drop those couple of ships here. A bunch of freelancers, hoplites or something, F7s. Or actually, I think the F7 is my friend here, Blade. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay. Then after getting those last ships destroyed, like I said, the second caterpillar will spawn. This time it spawns in the hangar. And it's a different caterpillar. It's not the same that flew in. It's a different hangar too, where it comes out. And you're gonna have to protect this one. and escort it out of the sector. That's the last thing you'll do. So you can basically do this mission in 10 minutes and then get 495k with that, right? So good money-making strategy, but then again, you can't loop it. You can't mission loop this like as much as you want. There's a downtime in between. The last thing that will happen is a lot of mantis will spawn in, and they are gonna try and hold your ship with the quantum interdiction, right? They will quantum scramble its jump drives, and so it can't do it. And it's your job to get those mantis out of the way. They will, of course, also attack the ship. So if you're not fast enough, they might actually get it killed eventually, but they're not exactly the most powerful opponents either. Especially against a large caterpillar, they need some time for that. And you see the point defense of the Idris is just taking them out. Pop, there goes another one. No problem. Alright, we're sitting right in front of that caterpillar. Another one just got destroyed by the point defense. Don't even have to look at them. And once that is done, once the last one of those quantum interdicting mantises are being destroyed, the ship will immediately jump away, and that is the end of the mission. So yeah, now I was able to set things right with the other video. At the time we made this video, it was really a problem. The more people accepted the mission, the more ships would spawn. It was impossible to play with the frame rate. And I was under the impression that you have to reach Master on Foxwell, like the highest reputation rank, to unlock those. That was also not correct. But now you know, and I know. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you had a good time, and that was the highest level contract from the security escort branch on the Foxwell category. See you in the next video. Manni signing off, and bye bye, my friends.